Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm just working on the Fall Fungi Challenge. And I thought I would just do a little story time. I have 3 kids, so my oldest is 13, and the twins are 10. And last night they were playing in the backyard. They kept running into our bedrooms really long, so we split it. So half's bedroom, half's my office, where I do things like draw mushrooms. Anyway, my youngest daughter, so the twins, they're a boy and a girl. My youngest daughter comes in and she's all, "Do we have bats?" We moved to this area where we live now about in 2018. We moved here, January of 2018. And she's all, "Do we have bats here?" And I'm all, "Yeah." And she's all, "Do they like the forest?" And I'm all, "Yeah. We have kind of a forest backyard." And she's all, "So do they like tall trees?" And I'm all, "Yeah, they like height. They're good with height." And she's like, "Oh, okay, I was just curious." And I'm like, "Why are you asking that, sweetheart?" And she's all, "Oh, no reason at all." And now I'm starting to get worried, because when kids come to you asking you very specific questions, it's because something very specific happened. She's just like playing it off like this is a very casual thing to ask. And she's like, "Do they like hollowed out logs?" And I'm like, "They could." I've never been able to ask one specifically what they prefer, but I'm sure they like all kinds of things. Like, I know people who have bat houses to attract them because they eat lots of mosquitoes. I know they hang those really, really high. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And so she's just like twiddling her thumbs, being all casual. And she's like, "Okay, so not related?" And I'm all, "Uh-huh." She's all, "This black butterfly came out of nowhere and started eating a bunch of bugs in our backyard." And I'm all, "Oh, really? A black butterfly, huh?" She's like, "Yeah, I think it had like a broken wing. Something was wrong with its wing." And I'm like, "Oh no." And my son comes in and he's like, "Yeah, it had a weird looking nose." I'm like, a butterfly had a weird nose. And I'm like, "You guys do realize that what you're talking about is a bat?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And as I hear my youngest daughter like leaving the bedroom, she just whispers under her breath, "I knew it." I started laughing because, like, oh, they're so funny. We have a bear. We have a bear that comes through our backyard, but he doesn't come through during the daytime. And that's probably because of our dog. But we do have a really huge bear, and we find all the proof that he was there. We have a lot of blackberries in our side yard areas, and we don't pick all of them, so the deer and the bear and stuff have lots of winter snacks, well, for a while anyway. Plus we keep a huge thing of fresh water that we replace and change every single day outside for the raccoons and the possums and stuff. Like, we don't want them drinking dirty water, so we have that as well. But the bear's a bit much. Like, our dog doesn't really do the deer, and when we start showing all the reasons we know a bear has been in our yard, our kids are just like, "Whoa, it's crazy." And we have these huge turkey vultures that once in a while they'll land in our backyard, and they're massive. Like, when you see one of those coming, it like shadows the whole sky. Oh gosh, I was laughing so hard. A black butterfly. I've never heard bats described as a black butterfly, but now that I think about it, it sounds kind of beautiful. I like black flowers, so it sounds really cool. Anyway, it's such a Halloween story. I know some of our neighbors have the bears walking around. They come looking for water, is why they come up to people's properties. So we just decided to embrace that, but we haven't spotted any in the daytime, which is probably a really good thing. I don't know. Our dog is all like 100% bark. and she is a guard dog breed, but she would seriously just bark and back up. Like, we have trouble taking her to the dog park, even though she's huge. She's part Mastiff. I did another story time about her because she's such a big baby. Even though she's part Mastiff and stuff, she's so sensitive, and she's just too passive. I think the deer, she barks at them because she doesn't understand their hopping, like totally freaks her out. And so she'll bark at them and they'll hop, and she just goes, "Oh no, what's it doing? Is it okay?" And she backs up and gets all scared and looks at us, and we just, try not to laugh and comfort her. She's a big baby. Yes, Halloween is coming. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do a sketchbook tour of my Sketchtember, but I've been like prepping different ideas and stuff within my sketchbook for Drawloween, and I'm very excited. Very excited for that to happen. And then tomorrow I was going to talk about, these are two different blenders for colored pencils. One's Caran d'Ache and one's the Prismacolor. There's so many different blenders and blending techniques and all this stuff for colored pencils that I thought I would just do an entire video dedicated to that. And we can just go through prices and techniques and, what's better, what's just preference. That's, some of this just boils down to what do you prefer, and some of it may be access. Like, do you have access to purchasing some of these items within your country? So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, and that'll be fun. And then we can get on to Drawloween, and we can draw all the spooky things. I'm so excited. We see how tiny this colored pencil has become. This wasn't in the set of 36. I had to buy this. This is Juniper, and it's sort of a gray-based green. And I bought this very specifically because I needed, that set just doesn't have a dark green. I'm like, I either have to go really, really lightly and constantly layer with black or gray or a deep purple or indigo, which is a really dark blue, or I just need to buy a darker green and save myself some time. So, that is what I've done with my life. Anyway, Halloween, yeah, and we'll buy costumes, and I can paint faces too, so I've done that for the kids just on like random days. My son will be like, "Make me a dragon." I'm like, "Oh, okay, you're a dragon." And I'll just paint his face. My husband and I don't really dress up, and because of COVID, we don't trick-or-treat. Not that we had very many trick-or-treaters anyway, and when we went out pre-COVID, our neighbors are hilarious. Like, the amount of beer that they would try and give us. I'm like, "Oh no, you're gonna have to like carry me home." Stop offering me free beers. Oh, my neighbors, they're too sweet. Anyway. We do games inside the house with little prizes and do Halloween themed things, and we'll make caramel covered apples and bob for apples and some of those funner things, and then watch, a Halloween movie. Hocus Pocus is a fun one. I saw that one in the movie theater in '93. Is that when it came out? I don't know what year it came out. I saw it in the theater though. Oh man. And then I remember introducing it to my kids, and their eyes just got really, really big. And I'm like, "Oh, do you like it? Are you scared? I'm sorry." They're good now. They're older now. But I get so excited about movies sometimes that I'm like, shoot, am I introducing this to them and they're too young? Goonies was another fun one. I'm like, "You haven't seen Goonies? We have to teach you all about all the 80s movies. All the fun stuff." Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.